Good day and welcome. I am Kathleen with the Game of Life. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and like and subscribe and please share. This is part 5 of Solutions that I'm doing, a series. And today we're going to talk about self-governance and how it is truly the remedy to all those issues that we're having with the overreaching government and corporations. It's about reawakening our consciousness. The reason our world is kind of drift into confusion is very simple. Mankind collectively forgot that it was never given rights by the governments. Rights do not come from government, although the government might want you to do that. It's like they put us to sleep in a deep sleep to forget this. Government and companies give you privileges and benefits for compliance and to take away rights of mankind. So you're exchanging your companies like, oh, I'm going to give you this benefit and that benefit and that benefit. And then I'm going to tell you to put something in your body, even though I don't have jurisdiction of that, just because I'm going to give you the illusion that I do. That's enough. We need to stop obeying false gods. The living soul, that would be everyone living, already holds every right by birth, and that comes from Creator. We don't have to ask for our rights. We own, evoke, declare, and claim our rights. Man-made systems can only license, regulate, and restrict and exchange benefits for obedience. They want you to obey. I'm not very good at obeying another man that is my equal. This is really learning the bridge. There's 4 laws that we're going to go over today. It's the bridge. It's about reaching out and grabbing that hand and knowing that you have a biblical sacred duty to apply these laws in your life as the remedy that you're seeking. So number 1 is learning honor is in divine law. It is knowing the moral pulse of creation, the quiet inner compass that aligns every living soul with truth. Without honor, there is no foundation. With it, we walk in alignment with Source, God, Creator. It is knowing that the moral pulse of creation, the living breath behind all that is, it begins in the stillness, in listening, in reverence, in what cannot be seen but is always felt. That breath of air when you breathe in, slowly and out slowly, how much it can calm you. The breath is coming from the ether, the space that is there. Divine law is not written in statutes, codes, titles, and man-made BS. It is encoded in your consciousness and in your cells. To learn honor is to realign with the pulse and to remember that no right exists without the action, without the right action. And 2 is applying honor, and that is through ecclesiastical law, governing our relations in spirit and in consciousness. Ecclesiastical law governs how we walk and talk with one another in spirit and consciousness. It's the law of the word, the vows, the covenants. It is what turns faith into practice and consciousness into conduct. When we apply honor in our relations, we no longer dominate or submit. We stand, witness, forgive, restore, and serve. This law lives in the sacred agreements between souls, living soul with living soul, mankind with mankind, under God's eye and watch, beyond man-made institutions and government and control. This is walking in the private. This is agreeing in the private. This is going back in time to what was always once there. It's just been hidden and masked by all the illusion of deception of the man-made legal system. 3 is communicating. 3 is communicating trespass of natural law. When someone does a wrong or a trespass upon you, it's learning to express it and communicate it to bring back balance of what is broken. Communicating trespass is natural law. It is the sacred duty to speak when harm is done or a trespass, not from ego, but from truth, not from shame and blame, but to correct. Natural law teaches that we must express with words the imbalance in order to restore balance. When we fail to speak our truth, when we fail to speak up, when we fail to right a wrong, when you see poison being put into the chemicals in the water and you're working for the water company, when you see a wrong being done and you stay silent, it is if you did it yourself. We have been conditioned to be silent. No more. It's not honor. It's actually dishonor. To say that, oh, you can't, it's not equity to hold someone else accountable. That's dishonor. It is dishonor. When we speak from truth, we realign with the field, with the source, with the power, with the honor. This law is what separates silence, born of fear, which is false evidence appears real, from silence into speaking is born peace. And number 4, holding others accountable with facts on the record and evidence. You must have facts and evidence. And this is equity and bringing it through. The outer reflection is if you are, I'm going to stand in honor. And in honor, when you are in honor, you're in honor of Creator, yourself, and the other person who is doing the wrong or the trespass. You're showing them that that's not the right way to act. That's not acceptable. We don't need statutes, codes, and all the man-made BS to tell us right from wrong. We know that innately within us. Upholding accountability and equity in action. It is the embodiment of all prior laws that I just went over in real time. It is where truth becomes tangible, where records matter, and where remedy is born. In equity, we hold others to account, not to punish, but to restore what was lost, to make whole what was broken. This law ensures that honor is not a theory, but a lived standard. We live by this. We breathe it, we speak it, we embody it. Equity demands clean hands, good faith, and full truth. And where these are present, these attributes are present, remedy is not just possible, it's inevitable. But today, most of mankind lives only in forgotten state of mind. The commercial sea of maritime admiralty UCC law, where everything becomes a contract, a transaction, a fiction. That sea is ruled by those who profit when living souls forgot. I am I. I am living. I am breathing. I am flesh and blood. Remember, that is who you are. You are alive. And you don't need to bow down to another anymore. That's the distortion, the gatekeeper's procedure. In the sea of commercial law, where words are contracts and silence is consent, it's a guild once tasked with interpreting the law has now crowned itself as the gatekeeper. It calls itself the Bar Association, a global fraternity of license and allegiance. I'm not going to call them the mafia, for that implies violence. No, their power is much more subtle, isn't it? They're cloaked, literally, in formality, fueled by silence, and enforced by belief. That belief is an illusion of intentional deception that they protect, and they took an oath to protect that lie. The bar attorneys are a fraternity of authority of men and women trained to believe, they've been programmed, they've been instilled to believe that the governance must flow through their permission, their procedure, and their code as if they are gods. Bar attorneys exist wherever truth is buried beneath the process, where the living voice is silenced by representation, where honor is traded for argument of complete and total disregard and dishonor. In their courts, the soul has no standing. The living has no jurisdiction. Only the fiction speaks. Only the name owned by the state answers, and it's from the depths of the dead, all drowned at sea. But when mankind collectively remembers and awakens and reclaims, invokes, declares, living standing, and speaks in truth and governs their self with honor, then man-made fiction jurisdiction crumbles. Procedure cannot override conscience. Titles cannot outrank truth. Legal ease is removed from contracts, and God's law is restored. We have been trained to say, oh, you must consult an attorney. Did you ask an attorney? You can't live or breathe without talking to an attorney. You're going to get divorced. You better get an attorney. You're going to have a contract. You better get an attorney because you're an infant and you can't speak for yourself because we made sure of it. We're the bar. No more. We were never taught and never told, consult your consciousness, consult within, go within. It is within you, the knowledge, the power, the honor. And that, my friends, is self-governance. It was stolen from us. It was masqueraded. It was through deception of a bunch of controllers. And the remedy is not rebellion, it's remembrance. Living souls must learn to self-govern, and they do that through that number one law, divine law, as a baseline, and it's simple. Do no harm. When harm does occur, whether by ignorance or intent, remedy must follow. It's simple. Remedy is not punishment. Remedy is restoration. In true honor, we call upon 25 peers, if that's what's needed, to give witness, to weigh truth. And that is not just a tribunal, not a bar-ruled court. It's peers that hear the facts, consciously deciding the balance, and restoration, not vengeance. It restores the peace. Self-governance and practice. To self-govern is to know the law written in the heart and live it out loud. Live it, walk it, breathe it. It is to speak truth, to write truth, and to correct errors without fear, but through faith. When we govern ourselves with honor, there is no need for the governed by another man, except in cases of extreme evil, which we can define, where protection of life requires collective defense. Beyond that, each living soul, each of us, we are our own stewards under God, under Source, the breath that animates all living things. Mankind gives no rights, only privileges and benefits. Living souls already have all their rights, and it comes from creation. Bar members exist only where evil rules, and truth is 100% absent. And the return to self-governance is a duty, it is a remedy, and it is a sacred duty that we must all apply. When we remember this, the walls of false authority crumble from within, not through force, but through frequency. The mindset shifts and the system crumbles at our feet. Self-governance with honor, no harm, and faith in Creator. It restores divine order on earth. The law of man ends where the living word begins. Come, take a walk on water, maritime law with me, and let's have some fun crumbling the walls of this overreaching government and companies that we have going on. Join me, like, subscribe, and remember, play the game of life and have some fun. Thanks so much.